Welcome to the Daughter of Ice channel. My name is Yvonne and this channel is all about bringing you content to do with childhood sexual abuse. On this channel I share things to do with my experience of going through this childhood trauma. I also cover news stories and other topics on the subject of childhood sexual abuse, and from time to time, when I'm fortunate enough, I interview other survivors and their supporters in hopes of raising awareness of this childhood trauma. So if this is the type of content you're looking for, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you can be notified of any new uploads. And if you do like the content, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. So guys, the other day I was in Brixton, just going about, doing a little bit of shopping, like food shopping and stuff, because obviously down there they have quite a few like Asian Caribbean shops. I was getting hair stuff and all that stuff, and I walked past a stall and a smell hit me so hard that it triggered a memory. And it was one of these stalls that was selling these kind of incense sticks. Very, very strong smelling. I don't know if you know them. They probably come in a long pack like this. And as a child, my parents, especially my dad, used to light these long incense sticks around the house. So he would kind of put it in like a door frame or something and light it, and it would scent the house. Also as well, when I was taken over to my grand's house, the room where my dad abused me, he used to light these sticks as well. And as I was walking past this store and I smelled this incense stick, immediately I had a memory. And the memory was particularly tied to the room that I was abused in. And then after that, the other memory came in of, him burning it in our family home. And that just got me really thinking actually about how smell or certain memories of things can be triggered quite easily, because for years I never thought about that. I haven't thought about anything to do with that part of my life for quite a long time, particularly the kind of ins and outs of the abuse. But smelling that incense stick really triggered that memory, and it didn't actually upset me or take me back to a place where it made me depressed or anything. But I just remember when I smelt it feeling actually repulsed at the smell. And today I just wanted to talk about that. Are there things from your childhood, like smells or tastes, that trigger memories? I can think of 3 particular ones for me, and I'm going to share them with you in this video. So as I just mentioned, the incense sticks are something that triggers not good memories for me. I hate the smell of them. I don't really care for what they stand for. It is something I remember throughout my childhood, that this was a strong feature within our home and within the room that I was abused in at my grand's house. The next thing for me that triggers memories, and until this day I still cannot ever have this thing, is the red label Coca-Cola. Because when my dad used to take me over to my grand's house, because he had a room over there, he used to always have this Coca-Cola and another item which I'm going to mention in a minute on his desk in this room. So before he would abuse me, he would have these items in the room, and I would try and drink this Coca-Cola as slow as I possibly could, because I was trying to manipulate and buy time, because I didn't want to be abused. And I used to try and make it last me as long as possible. And then after a while my dad would get frustrated and tell me, am I finished yet? When am I going to finish? Because he wanted to obviously sexually assault me. So from the age of 9 to 13, going through sexual abuse at the hands of my dad, he always used to have these cans of Coke and something else on his desk for me before he would abuse me. And from the age of 13, when I was taken into the care system, I never drank Coca-Cola again, the red top Coca-Cola, ever again. I can't stand to even, think about how it used to make me feel. But for me, it has very negative memories associated with my abuse. And, I've had the Diet Coke, I've had the silver can Diet Coke over the years. I stopped drinking Diet Coke now, probably about 4 or 5 years ago, because obviously for me, I'm trying to look after my health, and it's got sweetness in and stuff. I never had a problem drinking the Diet Coke, but the red label Coke I never did drink again. For me, it had too many negative memories with it, and anyway, you know, it's not really good for me anyway, so it kind of killed two birds with one stone, so to speak. And the last thing I want to share with you that kind of didn't trigger good memories for me was Golden Wonder Crisp. Now, you know, the label itself, Golden Wonder Crisp, is actually quite defunct. I don't think you actually can find Golden Wonder Crisp anymore. A couple of times I did see it in like Asian corner shops back in the day, but as a brand now, Golden Wonder is not a very well-known brand. It's more associated with the 70s, 80s, 90s, that type of era. Now it's more over here in the UK, we call them crisp obviously. Over here in the UK, the crisps that are kind of really popular as a main label one is Walker's Crisp. But back in the 80s, Golden Wonder had, you know, the crisp market share, you know, quite large amount of people used to love Golden Wonder Crisp. My favourite flavour used to be sausage and tomato. I don't know if anybody remembers that. And also cheese and onion. But when my dad was abusing me, this was the other item he used to have on his desk, which was the 2 packets of Golden Wonder Crisp and also 2 cans of Coke. And again, when I think about Golden Wonder Crisp, you know, unfortunately it doesn't bring back good memories, even though, you know, I really did like that flavour that I just mentioned. I think it was sausage and tomato, something like that. You know, even though I did like that flavour, just thinking about Golden Wonder Crisps, it does bring back that memory, you know, and it's not good memories for me. So, you know, these are things that have really been etched into my mind through the trauma. And I was reading something today actually about what causes people to experience flashbacks when they smell certain scents and things, you know, that were present during some traumatic events in their lives. And somebody wrote this actually on Quora, and they said the nose is the strongest trigger to human memory. This occurs because the nose, uniquely among human senses, roots directly to the cerebral cortex where memories reside. Traumatic events are burned into the mind with all the sensations around them. It's how the human minds are made. So when your nose recalls a smell or a certain event, the entire event opens up again in your mind. But yeah, I mean, it's something that I don't think about every day, but when I see or smell certain things, like I said, the incense candle, or if I see red label Coke and stuff, it does kind of bring back that memory. But what I'm really thankful about, it's not one of those things where I get triggered, like when I was suffering from PTSD, it would trigger and send me on a downward spiral. It's just one of those things that memory comes up for me, and then it's like, yeah, I think about it and then I'm able to put it to the side. Thank God, you know, because I would hate to be in a place still like many other survivors where the smells or memories of things triggers them backwards, and it is a process to work through that and be able to manage that. But it's definitely not a nice place to be in. I was in that place for a long time when I was going through kind of my journey of facing the aftermath of my abuse and on my own healing journey. And if you're somebody who is still triggered by certain smells or images of things because of traumatic events that you've gone through in your life, I want to encourage you to get support and help with this, because it can be quite hard to manage if you're somebody who's not getting help with this. I remember at one point I wasn't, and when certain smells or different things used to come up, memories, nightmares and stuff, it would trigger me and I wouldn't know how to get back on track. I would let it trigger me, or it would trigger me and send me on a downward spiral for like days and weeks. And you know, when you're trying to just even function in life, maybe you have a job or you're trying to go with your everyday life, you don't want to get into a place where you're being constantly triggered all the time. So if you are somebody that recognises this happens to you, I would encourage you to get support and help, maybe go to your GP or doctor, see if you can get a referral for support with PTSD if you do have that, or for help with therapy, because that is something that you can definitely get help with, and it's something that can definitely be managed. So I just wanted to share that with you. Let me know in the comments down below. I'm going to leave my comments open to have a discussion about this. What things trigger your traumatic childhood memories, if you want to share them, and how do you deal with it? I think that, you know, other people may be able to pick up tips and things on how to deal with it, and we can support each other in that sense. So until the next video, take care.